Okay, so there is the opportunity to make a vlog, so I will do it while the weather is great. And what I want to share today is like what I wish I knew before I starting my PhD. And hello again, with me Dimas in PhD crisis. So yeah, thing that I wish I knew before when I start PhD is I wish I knew that PhD is not like um, one night type of work. What does it mean? So like for some of you who loves the deadline and who likes to study the night before the exams, PhD is not something like that. PhD cannot be done when you set up the time that you just want to finish in a month or 2 months or 3 months. PhD because it's everything is not just depend on you, but it's depend on many factors. And when you set up like some deadline and so on, maybe it's good, but when you know that actually you cannot accomplish this because, for example, you submit your work to your supervisor, but supervisor might not reply you in a month, and then you will get frustrated and then you will maybe give up. So PhD is not something like that. PhD is basically the amount of commitment and work that you put in a daily basis. For example, you dedicate yourself 1 or 2 hours daily to work on PhD. No matter what you did that, you might not end up with not knowing anything. You might end up by not having anything written on your paper, but then you know that it's turned out the software that you use cannot accomplish or cannot make a image that you expecting. And it's a lot of times happening to me. I thought I could create for example, my structure or vector autoregression with one software called JMulti. It's turned out it's only working on the number, but to create the image I need MATLAB or Python NumPy for it, for example. So that's the first thing that I wish I knew before I did my PhD, that this is actually amount of commitment in everyday work. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the topic of your PhD might change since the moment you submit your research proposal. So what's happening when you write the things is not always the thing that you get it like what you plan it about. Like for example, I start my PhD in 2016. I wrote a proposal before there was a pandemic of COVID-19, and then in 2019 it turned out there is pandemic, so the research is getting broader because it's more interesting. People supervisor definitely will advise you to make a research about it, so you cannot guess it, and it's coming and you have to write it. So you the change is acceptable, but you know that you have one purpose, but do not isolate yourself from the change or from the situation. So I wish I knew that the longer actually you write, the more things happening in the world, the more paper, the more research. Sometimes they even come up research that exactly what you are searching for. So the topic that you do is not that unique anymore, or not give a good novelty anymore. So that's the thing that I wish I know. The change is good, just commit and change good. The third thing, and perhaps the last one, is when you stuck on things, don't give up. There in my writing PhD for I think 8 years, my dissertations, I always dream that when it will finish, and the day of when it's finished is coming. Next week I will get my graduations. So trust on yourself, believe that it will finish. So for all of you young fellow let's just do a research PhD things. Just believe to yourself that it will be done, it will be finished, and do not worry about that. Okay, good luck and enjoy. Sometimes go out and enjoy the weather when it's still good, because it's not always coming every day. Thank you very much. See you.